Hi, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. It's Tuesday morning, which means another Masternode Shootout update video. This is for week 27, so we're now into the second half of 2019, and unfortunately not a great week to kick us off the second half of the year. We haven't received quite as many Masternode payouts as usual. SmartCash and Metrix both down on what we normally would receive. SmartCash in particular a little bit strange that we had a 4-day period between the last two kind of payouts. I suppose these things can happen from time to time. I don't know if there's more smart nodes on the kind of network, and therefore that's kind of pushing the time between payouts a little bit higher. Although, to be fair, both of these did pay out in the early hours of this morning. They just didn't go into the figures for this last week, which are taken at midnight. Anyway, I'll go through the figures and then we'll talk a little bit more about what's happening with each of the kind of coins. So starting at the top of the list with Vulcano, 1,069 Vulcano worth $1.94, 61 Bulwark worth $2.70, 243 Helix worth 31 cents, 12,800 Metrix worth $6.17, 258 SmartCash worth $2.16, and finally Syndicate, 63 Syndicate worth 80 cents. So that's a grand total this week of $14.08. And if we jump over to the graph, you can see way down on what we've been for months and months and months. It's the lowest payout since week 8 of this experiment, and the second lowest payout basically all year. So a really poor week, and I'll talk a little bit more about why that is. Congratulations firstly to Metrix, #1 position and the only coin in positive territory, and nice to see it's actually in positive territory, not just the masternode value as well. So the price of the coins has gone up fractionally, but then with the rewards as well means it's decent kind of return, 31.65%, compared to a lot of altcoins this year. That's not a bad return at all. It's I think benefited a little bit from the rebrand, the Metrix rebrand from Linda, that it used to be kind of cool before, but the price was heading in the right direction before the rebrand. I don't know if that was on news of the rebrand or not, but yeah, a positive year for Metrix. Everything else has been pretty disappointing. So we have Helix just about in second position still, 20% down. Vulcano's moved up to third, so that's in 21% down, so third position there. SmartCash moved up to fourth position. Syndicate's dropped 2 positions this last week, down 34.74%. Unfortunately, Syndicate is going to be delisted from Bittrex. So the one reason I really liked Syndicate was the fact that I have traded it quite a bit. It's quite a volatile kind of coin, and I've done a fair amount of trading on Bittrex. But once it loses the Bittrex market, I believe it's on it's either the 19th or 29th of this month, but it's certainly this month in July. I think a lot of that kind of trading volume will kind of disappear. It'll be a lot harder to kind of trade because it will be on just a multitude of small, sort of pretty insignificant exchanges. So I think that's a massive blow to Syndicate, very much in the same way that the loss of Cryptodaveuk was a massive blow to kind of Bulwark. So unfortunately, I don't really see any way really back from kind of Syndicate here. I can't see, with the kind of the state of development and the kind of community and stuff like that, that it will then be able to get back listed on some large exchanges. So if you have got a load of kind of Syndicate, might be worthwhile. I'm not suggesting, it's not financial advice, but might be worthwhile looking to get rid of that before it gets delisted from Bittrex. But across the board, really, it's been pretty disappointing. Looking at the kind of coins here, I mean, Helix was a very, very cheap coin. I mean, it was a complete punt, only $31 for a 10,000 Masternode at 1st of Jan. It's down to $8.61 today, but the price fluctuates. It was only about 3 or 4 weeks ago that it was competing with kind of Metrix for the #1 position. It has been in #1 position quite a few weeks this year, but very volatile. It's a new coin. It's not getting the traction I think that many on the kind of development team maybe hoped it would do. It's still in kind of second position, but because it's such a small kind of value coin, there's no big kind of dramas really what happens with it. The disappointing ones really for me, Vulcano, not too bad. It's had a little bit of a slow steady decline throughout the kind of year, but I have been trading a little bit. The trouble with Vulcano is it's not on really any decent kind of sized exchanges, so the trading volume is pretty low, so it makes it quite difficult to kind of get rid of kind of coins even during the kind of the pumps up. Bulwark, obviously the loss of Cryptopia after the walkout of the team has been pretty catastrophic for it, down 60% almost. It's been sat around this kind of like 55-60% down year to date for the last sort of month or two now. I don't really know what's going to kind of happen. I can't really, I don't see it necessarily going down massively kind of more than this, because it's taken like a lot of its kind of hits. It could be like an absolute kind of punt as a kind of coin if you were looking to get into one. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I think a lot of these kind of coins that really will struggle to get onto kind of decent exchanges with the loss of kind of Cryptopia, unless one kind of exchange kind of comes up, a decent kind of mid-range exchange that accepts all these kind of coins onto its kind of books for trading. I struggle to see where a lot of these kind of coins really will go, and that includes stuff like kind of Vulcano, Bulwark, Helix, Syndicate now. The only two that I'm maybe a little bit more positive about are Metrix and SmartCash. I mean, Metrix is up on the year substantially. SmartCash is down, still 34% down, but it does have a large team. It does have a lot of sort of development and stuff going on behind the scenes, not just the kind of coin and masternodes, but their smart cards and various other kind of products. So that's I suppose in some ways, one of the more disappointing kind of coins. It doesn't really seem to have any kind of traction, despite all the kind of like interesting and kind of good stuff they're doing behind the scenes. I know they were trying to kind of do stuff in Venezuela as well, but speaking or like, reading on kind of Reddit, people that are actually from Venezuela, it's had no real kind of impact there. Everybody's still using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dash is doing pretty well in Venezuela as well. But SmartCash is, I suppose it's a bit of a dark horse. It could do something. Would be nice to see it kind of go up a little bit. But we will have to see kind of like what happens. Sorry, just the table by accident. So it's really kind of Metrix and SmartCash are the only two I'm really kind of holding out any hope for in the second half of this year. We'll have to see. I mean, what I'm tending to do is let the Masternode payouts kind of accumulate, and then as some of these kind of coins pump, is then kind of like sell those off those Masternode kind of payouts. So the extra coins we're getting, I'm looking to kind of sell off at kind of opportune kind of time. So a lot of these small coins, they will pump dramatically. Some of them are targeted by pump and dump groups and other stuff like that. So if you do hold on to the kind of coins for a while, you probably will see a decent pump at some point. Every few months, probably each one of these kind of coins will have a really decent kind of pump up. So it's, that's my kind of strategy going forward for some of these smaller coins. To be fair, if it wasn't for this Masternode experiment, I probably would have ditched a few of these coins in the last kind of month or so. Certainly Syndicate I'd have been getting rid of before it gets delisted from Bittrex. But I think it's only fair to keep hold of all of them until the end of the year, and then we'll see where we are then. But I doubt very much that all 6 of these I'll be running Masternodes next year. So I don't want to be kind of negative. I wish all these kind of projects well. Obviously, I'm holding coins in a lot of them, so it'd be good personally to see them kind of go up. But also from the project point of view, there's a lot of people working very hard, even in some of these kind of smaller projects behind the scenes, trying to kind of make things happen for these kind of coins. So I wish them kind of all well. As I said, I think really out of the 6 here, Metrix and SmartCash are the 2 I'm kind of keeping my eyes on. I think if we're going to get out of the experiment with some decent profits by the end of the year, really we'll be looking to those 2 kind of coins to drive us forward. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's always nice to hear from you. Thanks very much to the person who commented and let me know about the Syndicate delisting on Bittrex yesterday. I forget your usernames off the top of my head, so sorry about that. But thanks very much for letting me know in the comments yesterday. But that's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching. As always, give me a thumbs up. That would be great. I've got a load of new videos coming in the next couple of weeks that I've been kind of preparing and starting to kind of record. So they should be all released hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So anyway, keep watching. That's great. And hopefully you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.